Exotic. I wanna rock right now, rock a robin. I'm bending and bobbing, I stay with a thick little yellow like Christopher Robin. I name my Drake Mr. Miyagi, cause how that bitch kickin' must know some karate. Ouch! Don't get stressed like Pilates, the Glocky, you know how to bend up a body.
What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. I go by the name of BRWE, representing that Self-Made Hustle TV, where the hustle has to be in you, not on you, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to me, man. But let me get to a jam real fast, man. Find something to listen to real fast. I've been away with the bullshit. Letting go. Get us warmed up in here.
I'm gonna make their ass feel this one. Slow that shit down.
Showed a whole lot of love to some people that didn't deserve it. I gave them a helping hand. They turned around and hurt me. See, I was just trying to be real, but they played the game so dirty. It feel good to be a real nigga, but sometimes it feel like
make sure y'all hit the like button, man.
Showed a whole lot of love to some people that didn't deserve it. I see, I don't like throwing shit in people's face that I did it for. See, I was just trying to be real, but it's like they'll do some shit that make you remind them, you know what I'm saying? Why the fuck, how the fuck is we falling out about some money? See, I play the dummy, they catch a dummy. Purposes for the scripts, they call me a junkie. Why the fuck, how the fuck, you don't see the love that I'm showing? I'm moving all morals and principles, fuck all that family shit, I ain't going. I was giving when I was broke, let 100-some niggas come to the show. Now when I cut them off, I'm a hoe, man, before this other home, I'm the type to see vengeance till I die. Showed a whole lot of love to some people that didn't deserve it. I gave them a helping hand. They turned around and hurt me. See, I was just trying to be real, but they played the game so dirty. It feel good to be a real nigga, but sometimes it feel like it ain't worth it. Showed a whole lot of love to some people. Sometimes you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. So you might as well not. Trying to be real, but they play the game so dirty. It feel good to be a real nigga, but sometimes it feel check this out. Shut the fuck up with them fake excuses. When I cried, nobody heard it. My stomach fucked up, I be throwing up. They don't check on me, nobody worried. But I'm supposed to give a fuck though. Got opinions, I don't give a fuck though. I was sending K2 in the feds, paying all your bills. I went to the hole, you left. Waiting on me, better hold your breath. Every time you fall down, I'm down. You ain't wanna get right, so I left. I'm pushing people about you, I'm a step. I can't help it, real niggas kill. Each one teach one real niggas shell. Ain't too many real niggas left. I don't love from nobody else. Show a whole lot of love to some people that didn't deserve it. I gave them a helping hand. They turned around and hurt me. See, I was just trying to be real, but they play the game so dirty. It feel good to be a real nigga, but sometimes it feel like it ain't worth it. Show a whole lot of love to some people that didn't deserve it. I gave them a helping hand. They turn around and hurt me. See, I was just
Let's get another one in, man. Let's get another one.
it feel good to be a real.
Let's get another one in, man, real fast. One a little bit speedier. You know, one that goes a little bit faster, man. Shut it, man.
I'm smoking on the best right now. Believe it. I can vouch for that. I got big money on it. They will call money. I ain't lying. My mom said I did it on up, stop playing with me. that fine. Shout out to the tunes, I be playing keys. And Jabba daddy be praying for me. Going hard like I done did 30 years. Trials in life went through our beats. Still out trying to get 30 kids. Alright, but life was hard. I got smart, but still gon' murder still. I be counting money till they throw up. I be with grinding, instead of keeping it real. Eyes out my window. Tryna make sure that these niggas don't get one in though. I'm inside this bitch with extendos. No law, no law, so can't depend on niggas. Wrist out, lift my hand cold. You think I'm tryna win for? And it's so much more. My mama, she know that I gotta achieve it. I'm collecting them dollars and bitches who's slanging them child. That's part of this lead, I'm saying. Hundreds of miles forever, that play we gon' murder them, man. I tell you, Rich Wars, way young nigga, hit it with birds in the van. I can give you a clue, what I cannot do is show you my hand. You gon' make me out, you know I won't you stop playing. Make me cool when I come through, you know you can. Right, yeah. I'm gon' get you so high you cannot land. Eyes out my window. Tryna make sure that these niggas don't get one in though. I'm inside this bitch with extendos. No law, no law, so can't depend on niggas. Wrist out, lift my hand cold. Who think I'm tryna win for? They will got money, I ain't lying. My mom said I did it on up, stop playing with me. He get caught playing games, you see that fine. Shout out to them tunes, I be playing keys. Who's that peeking in my motherfucking window? Well, let them know that they on the fucking outside looking in the door. I think they know when I don't look out my window, cause all I see is the shit show. I fuck all of my old friends, but I don't fuck with my friend. Oh, let's see, so they be before they be, they fuck the world. They have a shot 100 times, feel like I did 100 curls. You Wonder Woman, wondering why you Wonderland ain't Wonder World. I jump inside her underworld, made her come 100 pearls. She pussy popping her back to window shopping, tint the windows, let the windows hide me, crack the window barrel sticking out. They stick them up, lit them up, roll windows up, the window wipers off. I work in tech like window Microsoft, my windows on defrost. Eyes out my window, tryna make sure that these niggas don't get one in though. I'm inside this bitch with extendos. No law, no law, so can't depend on niggas. Wrist out, lift my hand cold. Who think I'm tryna win for?
Salute everybody, salute. Good morning, it's a beautiful morning. It's a beautiful morning. If you woke up this morning, you are definitely winning, man. You're definitely winning, man. You're definitely winning. Because a lot of people did, man. A lot of people didn't, fool. So I wanna hold on, real fast. Hold on.
And having free will. You know, I'll just say do.
So, you know, allegedly they got this rapper from Miami, you know, his name is Lil Papa. Rest in peace to his soul, man. You know, we don't never know what people be going through. Even though they got money, man, we never know what these people be going through, bro. So he left a cryptic message, like an IG message, saying that he got one more EP, one more album left, and after that, nigga, he finna, you know, basically saying like he's gonna go meet his maker and put his soul to peace, you know? So I want y'all to listen to something that I didn't know about this kid, dog. These kids in these relationships, man.
They don't. You'll be proud of me, OG. Woke up, read me a Bible verse, got some breakfast to my sisters, talked to God about it. You know what I'm saying? And he laid it on me. I got one more album, EP, mixtape, whichever one it's gonna be, I got one more. And it's over, I'm going to find my peace.
On Wednesday, February 18th, the news that Jacksonville rapper Lil Papa passing away took the rap industry by surprise, catching even a few artists completely off guard while they were on live.
It's TikTok. Yeah, I'm not even looking at it. It's TikTok, bro. I'm not even looking like that. I'm not even... Y'all. I'm not ashamed, y'all. Y'all right. I don't play like that. What the hell? You don't play with girls, bro. What y'all talking about? I'm finna get all these, cause y'all negative.
I don't even be believing
on my mama, y'all talking about Lil Papa on my mama.
I don't
like,
even
I'm not
believe
even
that
playing on my mama.
That nigga,
That's a nigga. Oh my God, no, serious. No, oh my God, oh my God.
Then roughly after 30 more minutes passed, everyone's still wondering if it was truly real, XXL would announce Lil Papa had passed away at the age of 25. On Wednesday, February 18th, reports began to circulate the Jacksonville rapper Lil Papa had passed. XXL has since confirmed with the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office in Georgia that Lil Papa, born Janarius Michael Wheeler, passed away this morning at around 11 a.m., despite speculation online that the passing may have been a result of his own action. The cause of his passing has still not been announced, when sadly a video that he took only 2 weeks ago confirmed what likely occurred, where Lil Papa would make a story about his morning, how he read a Bible verse, got some breakfast, then announced his last album on his Instagram story.
They don't.
His mother would then confirm the passing, writing on her Facebook, "Lord, I need you to know that this is just a test. You say you will not put no more on us, then we can bear Jesus. I need you 24 hours a day," which resulted in rap OG Boosie giving his official reaction on live.
I won't give a T.I.P. Thug in Peace to Lil Papa, man.
Bro, when you look when you look at
always supported me.
I'm gonna tell you what made this young nigga unique is what made this young nigga unique. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me too. What made this young guy unique is because you know how you be seeing these niggas who be getting these outrageous views like NBA YoungBoy out songs and shit. But you look at they following and the following that they got millions of people following, so it evens out. This young nigga be putting up numbers like that with way lesser followers, bro. That's why he hurting them at. He hurting them right now.
They looked up to me, man.
Thank y'all for hitting the like button for me, man. Thank y'all. I see y'all hitting that like button, man. I gotta make sure my comments on, cause sometimes I be turning these hoes out on accident. Gotta make sure it's
T.I.P. popping, Thug in Peace.
No, it's not. That's what the problem.
Talented.
It's not on.
T.I.P. Pop, the Duval legend.
Oh, there it is.
The Duval legend. Live across the world. YN is the Pop. My daughter then, T.I.P. Pop.
Watch this
like the video if you're a Lil Papa fan. Curious how many of you are, because an interesting reaction from Baby Chief Do It would then go viral online. Reading, quote, "I don't often come on here and speak my piece on stuff that go on in this world, but as a guy who's been going through it mentally, I have to. I don't like how people don't try to understand how rough it is to not only be a celebrity, but also to be a man. Money does not buy happiness. Behind every dollar and diamond, there is still a human. It is a horrible feeling to go to somebody trying to express yourself and then they don't even consider your own mental health because they feel like you're up and got it going on, so then you can't feel a certain way. I don't know Lil Papa or his story, but may he rest in peace. His family will be in my prayers," which has been a very misunderstood topic in the rap industry. A lot of fans see the diamonds and cash on IG posts, but never stop to think how the artist is actually feeling. Most of the time, the truth is, it's not even the artist posting those flex photos that you see everywhere. It's actually the label posting them to create buzz for the artist's upcoming projects, while a lot of the artists you love today are actually struggling behind the scenes. This resulted in more friends of Lil Papa speaking out, saying, quote, "Man, you don't understand how you just made a thug cry. I wish you would have just called me. May God bless your family forever." To even Reggie reacting, "You was too genuine. I'm glad I got to give you your flowers while you was here, and I appreciate you for messing with Baltimore. That meant a lot to us." But as the hours went by, more and more reactions coming online, there would be the news of Lil Papa had reportedly taken his own life due to a bad breakup with Rick Ross's daughter. May he rest in peace.
Let me remind you that this kid, girlfriend is Rick Ross's daughter, man.
which is not only Rick Ross's daughter and his girlfriend, but also the mother of Lil Papa's child. Where just recently she made a TikTok explaining how that she had to move out and has recently just moved back in with her parents, making some speculate that they broke up.
Yeah, I moved out so many times and moved back in and moved out and moved back in and moved out. Like, that's the privilege of having parents who don't mind and have a free will. You know, I just say do it. Wink it, try it. First time I moved out, but don't do it with a man. That's my advice, because my first time I moved out, I did it with a man and I hated it. It was like the dumbest thing ever. But what was I, 18, 19? Yeah, went back home to my mom shortly after, because I just felt like, one, who's gonna love you like your parents? Not a man. I mean, eventually, you know, God will send you a husband, but that, you know, that's not here or there. Yeah, moved out, went back to my mommy, and then moved back out with a man, worst decision ever. Had a baby, and then moved back with my father, and then moved out again, and I lived by myself with my child for a good 2-3 years.
Please comment your favorite Lil Papa songs for others to look.
That's crazy, dog. Like, that's crazy, dude. You thought this nigga had a regular girlfriend. That boy said he was gonna do it to himself. I wanna see what happened, man. They need to hurry up so we can see what the heck happened, dude. What the heck happened, man? What really happened with the little kid, man? You know he was a different type of kid. I ain't saying this like I'm saying this in like the most respectfulest way, because R.I.P. to that kid. Like, he was a different type of style of kid, like a different type of music, a different type of, you know, you can just tell by the way his friends dress and shit, like they different. You know what I'm saying? But man, I wonder how them ICE agents. Hey, I wonder how them ICE agents feel about not getting paid. How y'all feel about, man, this cold? Don't y'all know that, man, them ICE agents, that they was gonna get them $50,000 extra food? $50,000 extra. We finna get into this not getting paid. Listen, dog. We talking about hey, listen, we talking about $50,000. They gave them ICE agents $50,000, dog, extra. Dog, don't you think if you gave somebody a 50 ball, they probably gonna do whatever you tell them to do on the job, even if it's wrong or right. A $50,000 bonus for doing what this the career you want to do. 50,000. I get you getting a bonus, but 50,000. That's $50,000 away from $100,000. Y'all know that, right? Just free for just signing up and doing the job, right? Man, just something don't seem right about that, y'all.
Idiot ICE agents are publicly speaking out, whining about not getting paid.
Now, who could tell me why we're here in Minneapolis? Pass. Can't pass. Come on, guys. What are we doing in Minneapolis?
This could be wrong, but Army?
Close. That's close.
That is indistinguishable from reality. And boo fucking who about not getting paid. Trump doesn't pay his staff. That's like his whole thing. We've known it for decades. And y'all still voted for him thrice. So fuck around and find out.
Just so I know, what were you told you should be doing?
Damn, they talking like us and everything, y'all.
The accuracy. But seriously, where is the money going? They have a budget of $85 billion and they're not paying their staff?
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says all DHS officers on the ground in Minneapolis will start wearing body cameras immediately. Secretary Noem added the program will be expanded nationwide as funding is available.
Not paying staff, and they don't all have body cams, And they have the audacity to ask for more money, which prompted McGovern to epically roast this lawless and out of control agency.
Yes.
I refuse to send another cent to Stephen Miller or Christy Nome. She ought to be impeached, and he ought to be fired.
Nigga, they still,
And Representative McGovern
just spinning
has
up
an
our money,
unlikely
man.
ally here,
Just
a
spinning up
former
our money.
Trump staffer. We've got a lot to talk about, but first, have you subscribed to Really American?
When I talk about this shit, I don't just hold the phone to the screen, I give y'all some commentary about what I'm talking about because I know what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. Because I read, I can write, So when y'all folks biting the style, man, give some commentary to the folks to let the folks know what y'all talking about. Let them at least know you know what you're talking about. Like, just hold the phone to the screen and don't say nothing. Don't insinuate. Don't come with the people. Man, that shit look like fake engagement. But we gonna get into it though, dog.
American, make sure you click and tap all the things because you don't want to miss a moment from this amazing team. All right, let's get into this truly baffling statement from Ice Barbie that agents in Minneapolis will start wearing body cams.
Investigators have been reviewing body-worn camera footage in Preddy's killing, but the officers at the scene of Good's death did not appear to be equipped with them. Secretary Nome added the program will be expanded nationwide as funding is available. And it is. This also comes as Alex Preddy's death has been ruled a homicide. A report made public yesterday from the Hennepin County Medical Examiner states that Preddy's death was caused by multiple gunshot wounds occurring
that sounded like that sounded like some Chicago shit, right? That sounded like some of the same sounds we be in Chicago, multiple gunshots. And how the fuck is that? That's coming from ICE, nigga. These niggas is gangsters. That's why. They're gangsters, dog. They're gangsters.
After he was shot by law enforcement officers. A homicide.
This revelation that ICE agents are going to start wearing body cams is coming as morale is tanking inside the industry. Independent reporting that was picked up by Raw Story tells of ICE agents taking to the internet in places like Reddit to complain about not receiving health insurance or pay for weeks and even months. But of course, we don't feel sorry for them for a second, but we are all questioning where the hell is the money going? Because they don't have enough funding for all of them to have body cams. They're not paying their staff and they want more money. But Representative Jim McGovern from Massachusetts, he's not having any of it.
Let me first address the government funding package, which was added to our agenda over the weekend. And let me be crystal clear. I will be voting no on this funding package. I refuse to send another cent to Stephen Miller or Christy Nome. They are undermining our Constitution, and the department they run is murdering American citizens in the streets.
Come on,
She ought to be impeached, and he ought to be fired. I think their words and actions are disgusting. I just checked social media. Neither one of them has retracted or apologized for smearing Alex Preddy or slandering him as a domestic terrorist or an assassin there to massacre law enforcement. Those were lies. Lies that were whipped up and spread by people in positions of authority who immediately sought to exploit the murder of a federal employee for their own partisan politics. And I refuse to fund such a lawless, out-of-control agency. I will not vote for business as usual while mass aid.
But you begging for more money, though. That's what's ill. That you begging for more money.
Last week, a United States District Court judge said that ICE, and I quote, likely violated more court orders in January 2026 than some federal agencies have violated in their entire existence, end quote. That is inexcusable. And I have heard the argument that ICE already has plenty of money. Why not just vote for a 2-week CR? Well, I'm not voting to fund this agency for 2 seconds, let alone 2 weeks. They are terrorizing our communities and acting like they're above the law. That is my red line. And I think it should be the red line for all of us.
And echoing McGovern's calls for Nome and Miller to be ousted is a former Trump staffer who just launched a massive ad campaign to put more pressure on Congress.
The organization, Home of the Brave, looks to amplify the voices of people whose lives, they say, have been directly harmed by the Trump administration. And today the group is launching a new ad campaign pressuring Congress to impeach Secretary Kristi Noem over the actions of ICE in Minnesota.
Hey.
Let's bring in spokeswoman and advisor.
I'm telling y'all knew this shit was gonna cause some problems, man. Listen, man, y'all knew that this shit was gonna cause some problems, man. But it's more to this. But we gonna have to listen. What I hold on. I got one more for y'all. I got some shit to show y'all, dog. I got some shit, dog. We talking about $50,000 on the line. Them people gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. Man, we got $50,000 on the line. We gonna do whatever they tell us to do, man. I'm telling y'all, dog, this is what's gonna happen. And that's exactly what happened. They started doing illegal things, lying on the stands about these cases. Watch this right here. Watch this right here. Ooh, let me find this shit real bad. Damn, man, I hope I tapped on it. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah. Watch this right here.
Of what he has done. We knew what was happening. We knew corruption was reigning supreme inside of these facilities. Now we have the evidence. ICE detention officer guilty of sexually abusing a detainee. Here's the update.
An ICE agent in Louisiana has pled guilty to repeatedly sexually assaulting a Nicaraguan detainee in a Louisiana detention center. His name is David Corvell, and he worked in the South Louisiana ICE Processing Center. And from January through July of last year, he repeatedly sexually assaulted this woman. And the way he got away with it was by forcing her into a janitor closet. Prosecutors said Corvell forced other detainees to act as lookouts while he abused this woman. And part of the way he would coerce her into doing these things, apart from fear, was using pictures of her daughter as some kind of bargaining chip. It's absolutely vile. Now that he's pled guilty, Corvell faces up to 15 years in prison, and he will be sentenced on April 10th.
Just 15? Just 15 years. These are the people y'all sworn in. This one of the motherfuckers who got that $50,000 that y'all gave. You know? This is one of them people that y'all gave the 50 racks to.
10th of this year. Some outlets have tried to paint this as some kind of romantic relationship.
Man, dog, I swear, bro, people are sick, dog.
That implies consent. There is no consent when you are being held prisoner and a prison guard forces you in a closet and says, oh, I'll get you pictures of your daughter we took you away from if you have sex with me. Use your heads.
People crazy, dog. It is some evilistic cover-up kings and queens in the world, bro. Oh, man, this shit's sick.
Put up the picture full mass.
This shit's sick.
David Corvell, a former detention officer at the South Louisiana ICE Processing Center, pled guilty Monday, December 29th. This was a federal court in Lafayette to one count of abuse of a ward individual in federal custody. Corvell entered the guilty plea before the U.S. District Judge as part of a plea agreement with prosecutors.
Okay.
The charge carries a maximum sentence of up to 15 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000.
He said, what does this mean?
Even though he has pled guilty, I believe the fix is in. And I'm going to explain why in just a moment. According to court records.
I know you ain't one of them ones, Dreamcast. Well, we're gonna since you can't hear what it means. Hopefully you can read what it means. Can you read what it means, Dreamcast? Can you read? I hope you can read well. Because I'm black and I can read very well. I'm one of them. Like so we're gonna show it to you. We're gonna show it to you since you don't know what this means. We'll show you what it means. Little dumbass.
Corvell worked as a contract detention officer at the facility. which is operated by the GEO Group, Inc. We've talked about them on a previous show. Between January 1 and July 30th, the facility houses women and detainees at various gender identities. Prosecutors said Carvel began abusing the detainee identified by the initial CH, who was being held on an immigration matter. Between May and July, Carvel had sexual contact with the detainee multiple times while she was under his custodial and supervisory authority. According to the court documents, prosecutors said the encounters took place inside the...
According to the court documents, are you reading well, Dreamcast? Now, I'm pretty sure your bitch scattered like one of the most scary-ass cats when they sitting outside your house and a bigger figure come out, nigga. Bitch ass.
Detention center, including in a janitorial closet.
Cocksucker.
He was able to plead guilty to one count. That means that the prosecutors are allowing him to plead guilty to the bare minimum of what he has done. He's not pleading guilty to the multiple times, which would be another count of the sexual abuse.
See, you're not understanding. Every time you touch that lady, it's a separate account. Every time you touch that little girl, it's a separate account. Every time you touch that female, it's a separate account. So that's how you get the time. That's how you get the time. That's how you get the time that you get when they stack it up on your ass when motherfuckers get hit for this shit. Not no 15 years, bro. Don't you realize this is a sworn-in authority, dog? A sworn-in authority that y'all gave a $50,000 bonus to that y'all are supposed to be giving it to. They ain't got their money yet. Probably ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? With the government shut down, they definitely ain't getting it nowhere no time soon. But you sworn these people in, bro. And these people are like chomos. That's sick, dog. Y'all got these people held in these facilities and these sick motherfucking ICE agents or any sick motherfucker, period, touching people or doing things to people that they ain't supposed to do is wrong as fuck. It don't matter who it come from. But this is that where y'all holding them, where he can just do it whenever he want to. It's just weird to me. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. What would even give him the idea to think that it will be all right and he could get away with this? You ever thought about that? What would even give him the idea to even do it, to where he could get away with it? Like, this ain't a small thing that he doing, because it's something that they probably already been doing. You ever thought about that, America?
The fix is in. In addition to that, we've covered this same group, the GEO group, on Indisputable. And in covering this group, we have talked about how multiple individuals
This is sick.
have reached out to local law enforcement citing the same behavior of these contract workers who are working in these ICE detention facilities. And the local police decided to not investigate and to forward the complaint back.
But hold on, let me remind you, these people don't have to show their faces. They don't have to wear no badges. You don't know who it is doing this to you. Oh yeah, let me remind y'all that. They don't have to show no faces and they don't got to show nothing, no badge. You don't know these people's name, period. Just know this person is doing this to you, though.
During the encounters, that's another charge. Should be. On July 16th, the detention center staff saw Carvel and the detainee exiting a janitorial closet, prompting what? What did they do? Well, they transferred him to prompting a transfer to another housing unit. Transferred her to another housing unit. Prosecutors also allege Carvel smuggled gifts such as food, jewelry, letters, and pictures of the woman's daughter into the facility. Carvel resigned July 30th, was able to resign July 30th. Not fired, not arrested, resigned July 30th after learning investigators had obtained recordings of phone conversations between him and the detainee. During a September interview with ICE, the Office of Inspector, Carvell initially denied the relationship before later admitting it. Prosecutor said obstruction of justice. All of these are chargeable offenses. Violation of oath. All of these are chargeable offenses.
That shit crazy, dog.
Why
would you give him a
would
deal?
an individual who has decided to sexually assault, sexually exploit a human being, they have trafficked illegal contraband into the facility. They have co-opted and coerced other detainees to become their lookout. That's called co-conspiracy, or perhaps something even worse. Why is this individual, who is a private contract, allowed to plead to one count of sexual assault? ICE agents arrested for crimes across the nation. Let's get to it. Investigators said one immigration enforcement official got away with physically assaulting his girlfriend for years. Another admitted he repeatedly sexually abused a woman while in his custody. A third is charged with taking bribes to remove detention officers on people targeted for deportation. At least 24 U.S. immigration and customs enforcement employees and contractors have been charged with crimes since 2020. And their documented wrongdoing includes patterns of physical abuse, patterns of sexual abuse, patterns of corruption, and other abuses of authority, such as taking bribes. A review of the Associated Press found. The Trump administration has emboldened these agents by arguing they have, quote, absolute immunity. Now, this is a lie. This is a lie. But I will explain that on the other side of this. So they believe they have absolute immunity for their actions on duty and by weakening oversight. One judge recently suggested that ICE was developing a, quote, troubling culture of lawlessness, while experts have questioned whether job applicants are getting enough vetting and training. Of course not. Quote, once a person is hired, brought on, goes through the training, and they are not the right person, it is difficult to get rid of them, and there will be a price to be paid later down the road by everyone, said Gil Karlakowski, who served as the Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection 2014 to 2017.
That shit is sick, dog. Y'all not understanding, dog.
Has been an outspoken person about this matter. So where are we? The culture is transforming. Well, that's by design. How did this happen? Once again, 80% of some of the installations of ICE, they are not lifers. These individuals are brand new. They have replaced the individuals who served in the capacity of federal agents for ICE and went through the proper training and protocol to do so. How did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, number one, they did it under the disguise of Doge. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. Why did it happen? Because that was the reason. They wanted to have a different culture. The whole dynamic of the culture is changing was intentional, not a product unintentional. It was part of the design of what they were attempting to do. Do you remember when
that shit is foul, dog. Y'all paying these people to protect people. They holding them to, man, they need to shut that whole facility down, dog. Ain't no way that man think that he was getting away with that just to be getting
Did you
away
say
with
that
it.
ICE agents have taken to Reddit to complain that they haven't gotten their $50,000? Did you say that ICE agents have taken to Reddit to complain that they haven't gotten their $50,000 bonus, they're not getting paid, and that they're having a hard time getting their health insurance for their children? This comes from the...
Look, how... Salute, y'all. I'm just listening to something. How are you, an ICE agent, but you having trouble getting health care for your children. How?
The unofficial Reddit page for ICE officers.
What's good,
and since
man?
the Trump administration started its mass deportation campaign, this page has become a place for ICE agents to talk about issues they're having at work. Some people have gone on there to say that after weeks of working as a federal agent, they still haven't been paid. Others are having a hard time getting medical insurance. Like this person who wrote, been here for about 2 months, still waiting for my health insurance. And that MSS told me they don't know how long it'll take, and I have a sick daughter with no insurance. And of course, one of the biggest things people are talking about is the bonuses. That they either haven't gotten the $50,000 bonus or that after taxes, it's not much. Creators online have broken down on how exactly the money works and that the money is taxed and that there are a lot of ways that agents might be forced to pay back that money, especially after the midterm election and if Democrats come into power. A lot of people went in.
Hey, man, if the Democrats come to power, hey, listen, if they win that shit, all that 50 grand you ICE agents, you might have to pay that shit back. They gonna put that shit on y'all credit. All behind Trump, man. Say, dog, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying, dog. Listen to self.
Not know shit. But I know this is crazy. Shout out ABC. This is crazy. So I'm gonna be an ICE agent causing all this disruption for the President Trump and for America, so whatever you call it. I can't even send my baby to the doctor because no matter who I am, I'm still an American and the healthcare shit's still fucked up. You know. On top of that, I'm baiting people in to be ICE agents with the $50,000 bonus. You know, some people say they getting it and it ain't nothing. Of course they gonna tax the shit out of that. Man, they not giving you nothing for nothing. My nigga, these people are fucked up, dog. They even fucking over their own people. They even fucking over their own people, fool. And if just imagine you needing that $50,000 so bad and you become an ICE agent, and then the Democrats get into office and tell you and y'all gotta pay that whole $50,000 back because he wasn't supposed to give it to y'all. How would you feel?
In there expecting this kind of money, and I told them, first of all, they were never going to get that money, and if they did get that money, to make sure that they saved that money for lawyers, because ICE agents are also asking questions about qualified immunity, and if they can be charged criminally for what they're doing.
I keep telling y'all, dog. Didn't I tell y'all back in a quit worry about what I'm smoking? Worry about the message, what I'm saying. I told y'all. Y'all not realizing that it is collateral damage. Trump is not the only one that can go get locked up for this shit, dog. The people that's doing this shit, you can go to jail too. You can go to jail too. So now y'all asking for full immunity, man. You can go to jail too. That's why y'all gotta stop being yes man. Don't never be. This is the example of don't ever be a yes man in life, bro. Do what your heart desires, bro. Don't do what everybody else do and just do a yes man, follow go leader because he say go do it, nigga. Because you can't go to jail for that shit too, dog.
That Trump will grant everyone immunity. Agents are getting lawyers
y'all
or are afraid that they're gonna.
Nobody was supposed to get unalive, bro. It was just supposed to be them just get the running over shit, steamrolling shit, and taking over shit. Nobody was supposed to get unalive. See, when the unalives happen, and then the people were looked at like the same color that they is, and then you get on the stand lying to these courts about what really happened, man, y'all effed up, bro. Like that.
I have to start getting lawyers very soon. But don't let this fool you into thinking that all these ICE agents are regretting their decision. No, some people commented that the reason why they're putting up with all this crap with this agency is that they do it for the violence, not the money. According to reports, the government seems to be very concerned about agents' discontent, because a lot of people could decide to leave because of all this chaos within the agency. Which, by the way, seems to be what a lot of people are hoping for, is that the Trump administration would realize that they're complaining and start doing something about it. Apparently, these people have never heard that Donald Trump does not pay. But this is what Donald Trump does. He makes a lot of promises and makes other people do the work. And then leaves them.
Donald Trump and Jerry Jones is the same two people, nigga. Y'all didn't know that? Donald Trump is the same thing as the Dallas Cowboy owner. They don't like to pay people, fool.
Holding the bag, either financially or criminally. So share this so people can see that a lot of ICE agents are regretting the decision of joining up, not just because of what's happening in the streets, but also what's happening internally.
Late breaking news. ICE agents on Reddit are complaining that they have not received some paychecks and their health insurance. Yes, you heard me right. They are crying me a river. And let me tell you some of the comments. One ICE agent wrote, "Man, it's been 4 weeks since I have gotten paid." Another agent wrote, "It's been about 2 months, still waiting. Has anyone else had this problem receiving their health benefit?"
Hey, man, I thought that business was business. I thought that business was business. I do the work, I get the pay. Hey, I thought that business was business, though. I'm guessing that that's not true at all, dog. They fucking over their own people, dog. That shit crazy, dog.
Benefits. MSS said they don't know how long it will take, but I have a sick daughter. And some of the comments that were written that they could not pay their rent, their mortgage, or even their car payments. And this last comment is a good one. Still didn't get paid for the base check. Oh well, unbelievable. There you have it. ICE agents complaining on Reddit that they have not received their benefits or some paychecks. Agents waiting to get paid and waiting for their health benefits.
Remember? How the fuck is that, dog? How I'm working for you, dog? Cleaning this shit up, dog. And you can't even take care of my health, fool. Man, this shit crazy, dog. Keep telling y'all. That's crazy.
Remember that $50,000 sign-on bonus? Yeah, apparently they're not even getting it. So for those of you that have been here know that my last corporate job used to be literally hiring people, which means that I put together thousands of job offers, including sign-on bonuses. And the thing about sign-on bonuses is typically it's a lump sum payment.
You can't call Elon Musk unless you're trying to make a deal with him about that motherfucking them terrorists. You know he just built a fucking factory in Mexico. Oh, if that's in Mexico, oh, that's out the country. Oh, that's tariffs. Oh, you got to pay that. Man, listen, you call him, you got to make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. That's why they don't want to call him right now, nigga. They want to get as much money as they can out of his ass right now.
And apparently, because they're attracting the caliber of people who don't know how to read, they missed the fine print that states that out of that $50,000, the first $10,000 you do get when you join, the second $10,000 you get after you finish training, and the remainder of that $30,000 of the $50,000 you get in $10,000 payments spread out over the course of 3 years. And the thing about sign-on bonuses, whether it's a lump sum or a payment, is there's always a stipulation that if the employee separates from the company, and typically this time frame.
Hey, but what's crazy is, bro, you definitely right. What's crazy is this the way they used to do minorities. Bro, they used to control minorities, bro. Leave at minimum wage and shit like that. Why is they doing their own people like that, dog? This is ill, dog. These people are devils, fool. They want you to clean up their shit. Act like they gonna pay you, though. But penny pinch when they give it to you.
frame is 3 years, but in this case, it's 5 years. And if they separate for any reason other than a layoff, and that means that if they get fired for performance or they choose to quit and leave the company, they have to pay that whole sign-on bonus back in full, which
Let's make a deal. Bitch, you started your life over all that bullshit, bitch. I ain't finna have the laws after me when I thought I was the law after somebody. I ain't finna have the laws after me when I thought I was the law after somebody, chasing after somebody. About no $50,000 about me just getting a fucking job. Man, fuck all that, dog. Keep that shit. Yeah.
means that after taxes, that $50,000 is probably closer to $30,000, but you have to pay back that
You mean to tell me that ICE agents are putting their freedom on the line and salaries and a comprehensive benefits package? Salaries vary by role and experience, but generally follow the federal general schedule scale, with entry-level deportation officers typically in the $51,000 to $84,000 range, and opportunities to rise significantly with seniority and locality adjustments. The Reddit user below says, didn't even get paid yet for the base check.
That shit wild, dog. I don't care what you say. You can say what you want, I say. Bro, anybody who work for free, nigga, you dumb as hell. I'm gonna tell you something, black people ain't doing that. You can say what you want to say about us. You can call us dumb, say we spend our money on the stupidest shit, we unalive each other, but we ain't working for no free. Hey, that's something we ain't gonna do. We not doing that. No, we not gonna do that. We ain't doing no working for no free, dog. That's stupid. And you shouldn't either, though. You shouldn't either. I mean, you shouldn't either. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all high on dope or something? Like, or y'all just that racist, man? So I'm trying to see if we should decide to watch Trump on this Black History Month shit, you know. But I thought I had something else. I had something else I'm gonna show y'all ass, man. I don't know what it was. Man, I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, man. But this nigga Trump, Black History Month, man, that nigga don't know shit about no Black History Month. Y'all stupid as hell. That nigga don't know shit. That nigga's trying to erase history, and y'all, man, fuck that. We gonna go into the Epstein. Fuck it, man.
Into your routine. Their products are designed for layering, so it's just a few simple steps. You're good to go. Major editors in the beauty industry have also named OneSkin a leader in skincare. They have over 10,000. She went on X, said, quote, despite the memo released by DOJ last night, not all the Epstein files have been released. And the excuses provided for not releasing all the files will not hold up in a court of law. This isn't going away until people go to jail. There's another one. Where are all the logs from the receptionist station at Epstein's New York home? They kept track of underage children and people in power coming and going. Here's another one. Where is all the audio and video from the Lolita Express, meaning Jeffrey Epstein, jet? Then you had Representative Ro Khanna. Quote, the DOJ is once again purposefully muddying the waters on who is a predator and who is mentioned in an email. To have Janis Joplin, who died when Epstein was 17, in the same list as Larry Nassar, who went to prison for the sexual abuse of hundreds of young women and child pornography, with no clarification of how either was mentioned in the files, is absurd. Release the full file, stop protecting predators, redact only the survivors' names. So why are all of these people listed? And I really want to focus more on names we haven't talked about as much. Like we've already discussed in previous episodes of Sidebar, the Clintons, President Trump, director Woody Allen's connection to Epstein, Elon Musk's back and forth with Epstein or his people regarding meeting up. Actually, I'll tell you what, before I even get to other names, one more thing about Musk that I thought was interesting, and this was outlined in a Fortune article. The files allegedly reveal a scheme by Epstein to get close to Musk's brother, Kimball, and even tried to handpick a woman for him. Like you have this email from an Epstein associate, Boris Nikolic, to Epstein in 2012 that says, just talk to Kimball. His actual birthday is on Thursday night, although his party is on Saturday. Kimball, Elon, and few of their closest friends will go out that night. I told him that you will join us as well. Also, I told him that you are coming with Redacted and that he might want to ditch his ex or current-to-be. He said yes and is looking so much forward. So please prepare Redacted. She might like Elon as well. And then you see how Epstein even tried to seemingly leverage that to get close to Elon Musk, where Epstein wrote Musk in one message, I will be in New York for next week. We'll see your brother in his new romance. And of course, you have people like Bill Gates, Microsoft's founder, already well established that he had a connection to Epstein. There are photos of him in connection to Epstein. I talked about this in a previous sidebar. It was reported that there was this bizarre email where Epstein alleged that Gates needed medication to treat an STI from having sex with Russian girls. Bill Gates has denied all of this. But anyway.
Man, these motherfuckers are sick. Man, these bitches been... Man, come on, dog. You can't make this shit up, dog. What the fuck kind of room? Bro, I thought, nigga, that shit only come, like, that's some ghetto shit that happened in the ghetto. These niggas sick, y'all. These people are sick, y'all.
Anyway, giving an idea about the big names. So what about the other names? Now, I'm going to give you the caveat that is laid out by Pam Bondi in her letter. It says, quote, names appear in the files released under the acts in a wide variety.
Listen, let me tell y'all something, dog. Hold on, let me put this camera around so y'all can see my face and y'all know what I mean when I say nigga. Nigga, I know. And he foul too. Dog, y'all think that I'm shining a light on the white people. Nigga, I'm shining a light on devils. Nigga, devils are white, black, purple, all types of colors, bro. All types, bro. It don't matter. They foul. He foul, they foul. It ain't no different fouls. Nigga, they foul. That's my line. You know, they be trying to make it like I'm racy. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Variety of contexts. For example, some individuals had extensive direct email contact with Epstein or Maxwell, while other individuals are mentioned only in a portion of a document, including press reporting that on its face is unrelated to the Epstein and Maxwell matters. Like, for example, you might have somebody like Elvis Presley, obviously no connection to Jeffrey Epstein, but then you get
people who do shit, dog. Did y'all see that fucking trap door, dog? Did y'all see the fucking trap? I don't know if this... Nah, that shit is true because it's in the paperwork. Bro, did y'all see the fucking trap door that this guy's got to his house, fool? Don't even know what the fuck that's for. Bro, this nigga had a trap door and they say that nigga... Y'all know what they say, fool. Y'all know what they saying, dog. That shit was for, fool. I won't say it on my platform. But if you don't know, look it up, bro.
Prince Andrew, who we, by the way, talked about extensively in another episode of Sidebar where we talked about the royals' connection to Epstein. So that is what I want to provide context and explanation for, because listing these out, people might jump to conclusions, but let me try to explain it. So, for example, a name like rock singer Janis Joplin. You know why she's in there? She was referenced in a mass email that BCC'd Jeffrey Epstein. And in the email, listed music of the week. Quote, Janis Joplin, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Piece of My Heart. seemingly innocuous, although interesting because there appears to be a redacted line underneath this sentence. What about Nirvana's Kurt Cobain? Why is he in there? So in an informational email that was sent to Epstein from popular in your network, info@twitter.com, one of the things it seems to recommend for him is an article remembering Kurt Cobain on the 22nd anniversary of his death. So as you can see, it's not like Joplin or Cobain were somehow connected to Epstein. Again, wouldn't even make sense given the time frame. And then you have somebody like former President Barack Obama, where from what I could see, it was just a lot of articles about Obama in the files release, like news articles. I didn't find any direct ties between Epstein and the former president. Same kind of thing with Bruce.
So who was that just said that Obama was in that? He was in that 300 times, but bro, these one-on-one conversations, these when you go to emailing this nigga about personal shit, that like you know, you still foul to me though, but ain't no telling what they was trying to do. Remember, he's black, my nigga. It was some shit in them files when they said that Epstein wanted to run for president. So ain't no telling what they, what they was trying to do to Obama. They could have been trying to assassinate his ass, nigga.
Bruce Springsteen. Mentions of him are about tickets and concerts and email blasts. So as you go through this list, and maybe you're going to go on the DOJ's library yourself, just keep that in mind. But what about somebody like actor George Clooney? Now, this is interesting because on one hand, you have Clooney mentioned in certain aspects. Like there was an email sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2011 saying, quote, "Reminder, today is the day Peggy was hoping you could be in Venice with her for the Clooney opening. Pacino to be there," seemingly in reference to Al Pacino. Now, Peggy seems to be in reference to Peggy Siegel, big-time publicist, frequent communication with or about Epstein. We mentioned this before, but there was an allegation that she even tried to do damage control for Epstein when all these allegations were coming out. But then you have this email titled Toronto Film Festival. This is back in 2009 from Peggy Siegel.
I got that shit, dog. It's just, dog, this is the biggest foul, dog. Like, this shit is just too much for me, really. I ain't gonna lie to you. This shit too much, fool. I can read, but like, it's just too much. It's too much, fool. Like, it's so many emails, fool. Like, come on, bro. This nigga's a billionaire. Come on, bro. Like, like, he got so many people trying to talk to him about how to get rich. And so, it's a lot of shit, dog. A lot of shit, dog. And it's just, you gotta be able to cipher. I be looking at this shit and then I be like, I just go to something else, fool. I swear.
Well, to Epstein, where it says, "Had a great time in Toronto, saw everyone, George Clooney, Michael Douglas, Jeffrey Rush, Drew Barrymore, etc. Saw all studio execs, more important." How about this one, from Siegel to Epstein from 2011? "This email to George Clooney gives you an idea how successful my Venice trip was. Accomplished so much. Hung and discussed their work with George Clooney, Kate Winslet, Keira Knightley, Colin Firth, Al Pacino, on and on. We have working on all the hot films. Have to write my story now. Miss you. Want to see you when in New York City. XOXO Peggy." So not really sure what to make of that, unless, of course, she's just sharing with him her exploits, or, he likes being involved or connected to the rich and powerful, wants to make connections, and she might be the conduit. I don't know. But then there's this one we got to talk about. So someone writes Epstein in 2010, quote, "Can I have a muse same as George Clooney? In fact, what about George Clooney?" Epstein writing back, "In your present position, it should be George Clowney." Now, at the bottom of the email string, it says Peter Mandelson, somebody we've talked about before, the British politician who came under a lot of fire for emails that surfaced with him and Epstein, particularly celebrating and congratulating him when he was released from prison after his conviction on Florida state charges of solicitation of prostituting a minor. That's a little weird. Then you have this email, too, from Epstein to someone back in 2014 with the subject line, "Clooney in Copenhagen. Quote, now I know Copenhagen has interesting girls. Ask Gianni if you should see agencies on his behalf." This is what Epstein writes back.
I done heard so much shit that I done heard people say that Trump took him out. Man, that nigga was Trump's partner, nigga. Like, y'all don't understand, dog. Rich people rub shoulders with rich people. And y'all gotta, before this shit, dog, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, dog. I knew nothing about this guy, dog. I heard his name, but I never heard him talk, dog. I went through that interview, bro, and listened to this nigga talk, bro. This nigga is like a fucking Albert Einstein or some shit, dog. Dog. Weird, dog. So I'm like, this nigga here. Then that shit with that. I'm like, This some crazy, sick shit. That house, the dentist office inside the house.
So I don't know what to make of these emails per se, but
in the what's her name, they said that he wanted the dentist office was because his wife was a dentist, and he wanted all them kids to have perfect teeth, dog. That's what they said, dog.
But the actor has never been accused or implicated in wrongdoing in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. But obviously, I got to mention this. And then you got these notable people that have a more direct connection with Epstein, like actor Chris Tucker. Okay, you have this email from 2013 that reads, Chris Tucker will be stopping by to see J.E. sometime before his show tonight. No exact time was given. And we already know there were photos of Tucker in connection with Epstein, like there's one with him and Ghislaine Maxwell that has been circulated quite a bit. What about Jay-Z? So Jay-Z presents an interesting one to follow. There is a 2019 FBI crisis intake memo where someone back in July of 2019 apparently called the FBI Operations Center to identify herself as a victim of sexual abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others. And later on it says, quote, in approximately 1996, Redacted resided with Redacted in Redacted. An unknown man abducted Redacted from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had, and I'm not going to be too graphic here, sexually abused her. Redacted believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Weinstein, of course, is the disgraced movie producer who was convicted of sex crimes. But I will tell you, this is very similar to a range of tips that authorities were receiving in the wake of Epstein's allegations that were potentially never corroborated. I mean, we discussed the same thing multiple times on previous episodes of Sidebar regarding the unsubstantiated sexual abuse allegations against President Trump, too. Just something to keep in mind. But names like Harvey Weinstein, not a great connection. Neither is Bill Cosby, okay? He, too, is mentioned in the Epstein files. Like this email to Epstein from 2013, quote, Rich Barnett ran into Mr. Cosby's houseman on 71st Street. The houseman said, unfortunately, Mr. Cosby will be out west somewhere in California when you're holding the dinner on the 23rd. Otherwise, he would have loved to come. So this idea that Epstein just loved to be affiliated and associated with the rich and famous, and as we know, Cosby would later be accused and go to trial on sexual assault claims. This one was surprising. Former TV show personality Dr. Oz, who's an official in the current Trump administration. So there is an email from 2016 from Mehmet and Lisa Oz, that's his wife. And now remember, this is after Epstein's conviction on solicitation of prostitution charges of a minor. And this email is to Epstein, and it is actually an invite to Mehmet and Lisa Oz's Valentine's celebration. How about this one? Sent to Epstein in 2010. Rudy Giuliani could see you tomorrow, either at 12 or at 4:45. I'm not sure what time you arrive tomorrow, but I am thinking the 4:45 is better. Again, have to make the caveat. Just because he was invited places or had meetings with places doesn't mean these people are guilty of anything, okay? What?
I was not there looking at it. That nigga look like he gonna tell everything, right? Could you imagine this nigga like sitting in the federal penitentiary now, just like these motherfuckers is sitting in the feds, so these niggas gonna be sick like somebody. Hey, you gonna hang yourself like a motherfucker, I swear.
Why is Robert De Niro listed? Well, Epstein receives an email in 2013 that reads, Hi, Jeffrey. Called Redacted, but she never called back. Have been seeing Redacted once in a while. Have lots to tell you. Call me when you, I think it says, set up coffee deal with De Niro. Launched in Whole Foods under Grace of Rwanda. Best, Jonathan. So maybe trying to meet Robert De Niro, possibly another De Niro. There are more about the actor, though, too. So you go back to Peggy Siegel. How about this one, 2017, when she wrote, Dear Jeffrey, I am volunteering to help the New York Film Society of Lincoln Center with their spring gala called the 44th Annual Chaplin Awards, honoring Robert De Niro on May 8th. The presenters include Whoopi Goldberg, Meryl Streep, Martin Scorsese, Ben Stiller, and Harvey Keitel. See attached invite. I need to talk to you about the possibility of you buying a table that I can fill with movie stars, and hopefully you can attend. Now, Epstein was also on an email blast from an account that was set up for Jane Rosenthal and Robert De Niro back in 2015 regarding the Tribeca Film Festival, which the actor helped to found. But as you'll see, it's just an example of his connections to powerful people. And while I couldn't find, let's say, a direct email between Robert De Niro and Jeffrey Epstein, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg for a second, okay? Facebook. How about this message? Quote, Leslie thanks. The things I discussed with Jeffrey were for he and Woody, seemingly Woody Allen, to visit Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook or for Mark to join them at dinner. I've sent Mark the options and I'm waiting to hear back. How about this? Andrea, could you also please pass along the below link to Mark from Jeffrey? Thanks. Again, this is Leslie, Jeffrey Epstein's assistant. How about this one? Here are the details for the Sunday dinner. Attendees are, and it lists out Mark Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Jeffrey Epstein. There are more names on there too. I mentioned Hakeem Jeffries, so getting into the political space. Seems at the very least, Epstein was kind of keeping a careful eye on the Democratic politician out of New York. He was forwarded an article about the rising star in 2013. Epstein also received an email, could be an email blast. It says, Dear Jeffrey, I hope you received an invite to the party that Congressman Hakeem Jeffries this Wednesday night in Manhattan. Comptroller-elect Scott Stringer will be leading the celebrations in what promises to be a great night. Again, didn't find any direct connection or direct email between Hakeem Jeffries and Jeffrey Epstein. What about George Soros, the investor? Email sent to Epstein in 2011. Thank you, just landed in New York, was terrific. Flew over your island, coming back from Necker to St. Thomas. George Soros and Richard Branson loved your question about dictators hiding money. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. You have this email from 2018 to Jeffrey Epstein where it reads, Jeff Bezos at SMU Friday, worth seeing if I'm not still sick? Epstein replies, yes, you can say hello from me. So was there a connection between Bezos and Epstein? Also this one, from Peggy Siegel to Epstein in 2009. Just left Ghislaine's townhouse, after party for film. Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos were there. Gene Pagoni, director, millionaire, etc. So you can see his connections in some way, but I will say the names that really prove to be pivotal and come up a lot are people like Leon Black, the investor and former CEO of Apollo Global Management. So, for example, there's an email from May 26, 2023. The names are redacted, but the subject line is E-Notes Trafficking Leon Black Call. And this apparently is a call with G.N. Christensen from Wigdor LLP. This is a law firm. And this firm actually at one point represented a woman who claimed she was raped by Leon Black, but they eventually wanted to withdraw from the case. And anyway, the email states, quote, Leon Black, Wall Street person, 72 or 71 years old now, founded largest private equity global fund that exists today that's publicly traded, one of Epstein's friends, very powerful. Got a call from victim woman who said that she heard about lawsuit against Black. Victim said Black raped her around 20 years ago, 2001 or 2002, in Epstein's townhouse. Victim described it, felt pain, on massage table with head on floor and legs on his shoulders, excruciating. Spoke with redacted at Manhattan DA's office. Substance abuse problems in 1990s, preyed on by Epstein, gave massages to Epstein and Black for money. Another claim. Minor victim at Epstein's townhouse and was told to give Leon Black a massage. Violently raped by Black. 16 years old when raped by Black. Epstein and Black used to talk about victim and described her as being 10. They knew about her. Redacted. And when you couple those allegations with emails apparently showing Epstein associates arranging meetings between him and Black. I mean, there's one, Leon Black will come see J.E. tomorrow at 10 a.m. He may want breakfast. Please be prepared. It doesn't look good. And while Black's lawyer, Susan Estrich, previously denied the allegations, for example, saying in a statement, Mr. Black asked for an independent investigation of his relationship with Epstein, the Detchert law firm investigated and reviewed more than 60,000 documents, interviewed more than 20 people, and concluded that Mr. Black paid Epstein for estate planning and tax advice and that he had no awareness of Epstein's criminal activities. There was still fallout. Black reportedly left Apollo in 2021 after a lot of questions came up about his relationship with Epstein, although he said it was for health reasons. But how about this? You had a school photography company known as LifeTouch came under a lot of scrutiny recently because it turns out its parent company, Shutterfly, was owned by Apollo. Again, where Black worked. So the concern is you're storing all these photos of kids. They put out a statement on their website on February 10th saying LifeTouch is not named in the Epstein files. The documents contain no allegations that LifeTouch itself was involved in or that student photos were used in any illicit activities. And it also should be noted that Apollo wasn't linked to Shutterfly and LifeTouch until September of 2019, so this is 1 month after Epstein died. By the way, Black has never been charged with a crime in connection with these allegations. But also another person I got to talk about, Richard Branson, okay, the billionaire founder of Virgin Group. Now, his association with Epstein was already quite known. own, considering the two were photographed together. But let me just expand upon that, because you can see so many emails exchanged between the two or trying to connect the two. Like you have this one from 2013 to Jeffrey Epstein that reads, Richard Branson is unable to come to your island because he has guests, but he wants to extend an invitation to you for lunch on Sunday. Dean Kamen and Greg Weiler will be going as well to this lunch. Or how about this one from November 2013, where Epstein writes to Branson's assistant, I can send heli or meet anywhere. And Branson's assistant replies, Hi, Jeffrey. If Richard comes to you for lunch, would he have to go through immigration and customs on St. Thomas? Is there a quick way of getting through? And then you have direct communications, like this one from Branson to Epstein in September of 2013. Dear Jeffrey, it was really nice seeing you yesterday. The boys in water sports can't stop speaking about it. Anytime you're in the area, would love to see you, as long as you bring your harem. I think if Bill Gates was willing to say that you've been a brilliant advisor to him, that you slipped up many years ago by sleeping with a 17-and-a-half-year-old woman and were punished for it, that you've more than learnt your lesson and have done nothing that's against the law since, and yes, as a single man, you seem to have a penchant for women, but there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, something along those lines. So I have to make the argument, is that seemingly in relation to his conviction, right? A way to rehabilitate his image to get more business? Maybe. Now, Branson's company came out, denied that he had any involvement in Epstein's wrongdoing, that his meetings with him were limited to group or business settings, and that he cut off ties with Jeffrey Epstein after they, quote, uncovered serious allegations. And by the way, in a statement, Branson's company says, had they had the full picture and information, there would have been no contact whatsoever. Richard believes that Epstein's actions were abhorrent and supports the right to justice for his many victims. What about United States Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick? I'm sure you heard his name in the news recently. So this is Epstein's former neighbor. He has been taking a lot of heat recently over his connection to Epstein. See, the problem for Lutnick is the files seem to show he was in contact with the convicted felon years after he claimed he cut off contact with him. Like you have this one from Lutnick, where he writes Jeffrey Epstein, I believe in 2018, Are you aware as to them building to block our park views? What should we do about it? Time is of the essence. There appears to be an invitation to Epstein from Lutnick asking him to attend a Hillary Clinton fundraiser in 2015. You have this email from Epstein's assistant in 2017. Hello, Amanda. Jeffrey Epstein will be contributing to the UJA Wall Street dinner honoring Howard Lutnick.
Bro, I told y'all it's a lot of emails, bro. Listen, just think about yourself, how many emails you got. If you got a computer or you got a cell phone, just think about, go look at your emails. And just think if you had the same email for like years, dog, come on, my nigga. If they going through that shit, dog, like that shit is just gonna be like, it's like crazy, dog. Like only the FBI can look through all that shit. That shit probably took years, dog, to look through, dog.
Can you please provide an address to where we can FedEx a check to? Whose attention? Anything else we should know? And how about these from 2012? An email from Lutnick to Epstein. Hi, Jeff. We're landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart's and Anguilla on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What's the exact location from my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Marcy Lehrman, with me on my boat.
These are rich people conversations, man.
Teens, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard. The response back, quote, below from Jeffrey, comes Saturday or Sunday lunch, Little St. James on the map behind Chrisman's Cove. By the way, there are currently calls for Lutnick to resign, but nothing has come of it yet. But the fallout for others, not so great. Like you have Larry Summers, former head of Harvard, Treasury Secretary. The friendship between Summers and Epstein's was well reported. You had the Harvard paper, The Crimson, revealing a lot that Summers had apparently visited Epstein's island in 2005. There were flight records as part of a lawsuit that revealed he had traveled on Epstein's plane multiple times. But then you get these emails that come forward, and you see all these communications between the men, like where Summers was looking for Epstein for seemingly romantic advice, with Epstein saying, quote, he's a pretty good wingman. I didn't want to be in a gift-giving competition while being the friend without benefits. You have this exchange from just months before Epstein was arrested in 2019, where Summers writes about some woman. I said, what are you up to? She said, I'm busy. I said, awfully coy you are. Epstein responds, she's smart, making you pay for past errors. Ignore the daddy, I'm going to go out with the motorcycle guy. You reacted well. Annoyed shows caring. No whining showed strength. Now, Summers released a statement that said, I'm deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they have caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein, but he ended up stepping back from his duties at Harvard. He resigned from his board position at OpenAI. Now, again, to be clear, just a mere association or mention or emails or correspondence doesn't mean that anyone had knowledge of criminal wrongdoing or participated in criminal wrongdoing. And just to be clear as well, no one has been charged other than Maxwell and Epstein. But again, that is just a sampling of some of the things we're seeing as the names were released. You can go and do your own research and see what you find. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Them Sidebar is motherfuckers, man. That nigga Trump is hell. They hell up there, but they causing hell. Let's see what else we got. I'm using the wrong mouse.
Wherever you should get your podcasts, we're also...
This shit, hey, man, I don't know what's going on in the world. I just know that, like, if they affiliate with these people, I mean, man. What about the people that was affiliated with them afterwards, though? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, people, so I've been digging deeper into these Epstein files, and there is a very dark and suspicious story surrounding one of his properties that's known as the Zorro Ranch. Now, I've got a whole bunch of things in a document here about this Zorro Ranch, and it is pretty twisted. They're talking about there might actually be numerous people that were murdered near this ranch, and there's even rumors that you might have had bodies buried at it. Okay, so look, take a look at this. This is in the Epstein subreddit, okay, r/Epstein. It's been absolutely booming the last few days, as you can imagine. Okay, you know I'm a Reddit demon, and I've been absolutely dipping deep into the r/Epstein subreddit. Okay, this is going around. It says Epstein and Maxwell buried 2 girls strangled to death near the Zorro Ranch. And so this is basically a link to a document that's in these files. And this is crazy, okay? This is crazy. This is a report. It says, confidential, Jeffrey Epstein. Said, Edward, this is sensitive, so it will be the first and last email depending on your discretion. You can choose to take it or trash it, but this comes from a person that's been there and seen it all, as former staff at the Zorro. The material below was taken from Jeffrey Epstein's home as my insurance in case of future litigation against Epstein. Sorry, no questions. What's damning about Jeffrey Epstein is yet to be written. Did you know that somewhere in the hills outside of the Zorro, 2 foreign girls were buried on orders of Jeffrey and Madame Ghislaine? Both died by strangulation during rough fetish S. Here are the video footage of Jeffrey Epstein, and this says, I don't even want to say it, S-word with minor, menage a trois, underage G, you know, I've got to be careful what I say on here. Underage G, Matthew Mellon video, R-word fantasy video, underage G, girl from Bay Area, attempt, confession to Madame Ghislaine. Please arrange for 1 Bitcoin by 6 p.m. today to the Bitcoin wallet address here. The USB will be sent anonymously to your attention by overnight courier upon receipt of the funds. You have my assurance this is exclusive, never before shared. No attorneys, no samples, no questions. Please confirm ASAP. Subject to protective order. Paragraphs 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, and 17. You know what's crazy about this? Okay. The price of Bitcoin has just crashed. We could have got this for the low. Back then, 2019, Bitcoin was probably even lower than it was now. This is crazy. We don't have any more information about what these posts or what these images are.
Professor Alan Dershowitz. He has denied in court filings of ever having any sexual relations with underage girls. Many others are named in the documents, also denying the accusations. They include former Governor Bill Richardson, former President Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew. While some are accused of getting massages, there's no direct accusations of criminal activity with underage girls.
It's definitely a list that these people wish they weren't on.
The documents detail how some people were flown into the ranch on a small plane using this landing strip. KOAT legal expert John Day says more details are likely to come out in the years to come. There are 8 other civil suits that have been filed by alleged victims.
So, look, the ranch is beautiful, right? I mean, this looks like a target sign. They need to drop a bomb on this bitch. They need to drop a big WMD right on this and just blow this shit up. Factory reset, okay? But there are definitely some skeletons in the closet at this ranch. Now, this is crazy. The comments have been turned off suspiciously. But interestingly enough, okay, reports from multiple sources actually revealed long-held plans for Epstein to basically establish a baby farm at the ranch. And we've discussed in previous videos, he had this twisted plan that he wanted to impregnate 20 women at a time and start a whole new wave of little PDFs just like himself. This is a throwback article about how Jeffrey Epstein had hoped to seed the human race with his DNA. Okay, what a creep. He apparently, basically, he had an unusual dream. He had hoped to seed the human race with his DNA by impregnating numerous women at his vast New Mexico ranch. Okay, he confided to scientists and others about his scheme, and according to 4 people familiar to his thinking, there's no evidence that ever came to fruition, but he had a vision reflected in his long-standing fascination with what became known as transhumanism, the science of improving the human population through technologies like genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. He was charged with the trafficking, all right? He lied about the identities of his client, his wealth, his finances, all of this stuff. But basically, he used tactics to insinuate himself into an elite scientific community. All right, there's pictures. This is an archive, so we're not actually seeing the picture